you all for being out tonight. Super excited to see you. I recognize a lot of folks here in the audience. It's really nice to have you back. I want to do a big thank you to the Dalí Museum. As you guys know, typically the poetry series finishes in May and takes a break for the summer, and then we start back up again in September. But the museum is so generous and so supportive of our program, and we really appreciate it, and it said, you know, hey, we have time on the schedule and space to do a poetry series, to do an open mic. So we grabbed it, and we're very, very happy about that. Thank you, Dr. Kim, if you're in the audience. She was here, she's here running things. Also, thank you, Samaya Ayad. Couldn't do it without either of them. And Samaya is going to be co-hosting tonight with Dennis Amadeus. And of course, we have Curtis Davis. Come here, Curtis. Really, these guys make this so much fun, and Samaya too. So they're gonna handle it. I'm just here to say hello, good to see you. Thank you for coming back, and then we'll close it out at the end. But can't wait to hear you perform your poems or read them. So, Samaya, you want to
start? Y'all, give a round of applause to Helen. She's being very modest. She shouted out a lot of people. We do appreciate those people, but Helen is the heart and soul behind organizing all this and putting it all together and reaching out to us and giving us the opportunity. So we really appreciate you, Helen. Thank you for creating poetry in the Dalí, man. We love that. We love that for our art form, man. So my name is Dennis Amadeus. I do have an incredible co-host that I'm excited for y'all to hear a little bit later. But right now, before we get into our first act, I want to make sure that we know a couple of the rules, right? First, the first rule is poetry is a conversation, right? And now that doesn't mean you talk through the person's poems, right? But we can have dialogue back and forth even if the person on stage is in control of the conversation, right? And we do that by a little thing called call and response, right? So one way that we could show love to these artists is a call and response creates a conversation, right? So if I say GrowHouse, you would say homegrown, right? Because we're GrowHouse, we grew up in Tampa, we're a home field, right? So GrowHouse. Okay, GrowHouse. All right, so that's a call and response. See, now we're all in, now the energy has connected everybody together in the room, right? So that's the first thing. But when a poet is up here performing, right, we don't necessarily want to yell at them unless you're really feeling it and you're in a good vibe, you know what I mean? You could do a little go in, poet, you know what I'm saying? But there's a couple of things that we can do, right? One, you can show some love if there's a line that you relate to or something you really respect, you can snap it up. Let me see y'all snap it up like this. This is the classic poetry snap. You can do that. Adds a little pretentiousness to it, you know what I'm saying? But another thing you could do is what I like to call the church stomp, right? I don't know, maybe not everybody goes to church, but sometimes pastor gives you a good sermon. You just catch a little Holy Ghost, you know what I'm saying? So, but let me hear y'all church. So you don't got to do all this, but we could church stomp it up. You know, let me hear y'all church stomp. That's right. All right, cool. That's another way that you can do it. You can also do what I like to call grandma's cookies, right? So you go to your grandma or whoever in your life makes amazing, delicious chocolate chip cookies, right? And you eat one of them. What sound are you going to make? Right? It's the same with poetry. You just got a fresh chocolate chip metaphor right out of the oven of a poet's soul. What sound are you going to make? That's right. All these are very acceptable ways to show love and help the poet know that they're supported. And if you're going to be coming up here, the support you give will be the support you get back. If y'all with that, let me hear you say, yeah. Let me hear you say, oh, yeah. And one more time, I got to shout out to one of the baddest DJs who have ever lived in the history of all time. That's a little bit hyperbolic, but it's okay. That's my brother right there. I love that man to death. Y'all, please clap it up for DJ Afro Blanco. Blanco. With that being said, I think I've done enough talking. Helen, am I missing anything? The what? Oh, yes, good call. 4 minutes? You get 4 minutes, all right? Afro Blanco, I just made a big post about this the other day, all right? We want to respect the time. We want to respect other people's time. We want to respect the venue that is allowing us to be here. 4 minutes, or we're going to have to turn the music up on you. It's not a disrespect thing. We're not mad at you. We just got to move on to the next person. You got it? Y'all with that? Let me hear you say, yeah? All right, awesome. And then one more thing I wanted to say. So I don't get service in here. I don't know if Curtis does, but if you're taking videos and you're posting them on Instagram, please tag GrowHouse so we can share them, right? Because we can't really put the videos up and let people know what we're doing here. So again, GrowHouse Tampa on Instagram. If you're putting videos on your stories or anything like that, please just tag us so we can do a quick reshare and let people know what we're doing here. All right, I think I've done enough talking. Y'all ready to hear your first poet? Let me hear you say yeah. Let me hear you say, oh yeah. Then y'all please start clapping it up. Start clapping it up. Start clapping it up for Mike Callahan.
This is a much bigger crowd than I thought. This is like, okay, this is like my first time doing this. All right. I've got a few things. I've written them. It was a long time ago. And yeah, so this is my first time. Thanks to my lovely wife, Annalise, who said, you really need to do this. So I'm going to start with one that I wrote for my son inside of a tissue box at night. He was 6 days old. He reached over, he gasped, he felt me, and I was like, ah, he settled in and went back to sleep. So, lying next to infant, it seems we lay here nestled close, and surely you can't possibly know just who's this body near and warm, but only that you're free from harm. Then as you gasp to gain next breath, one feeling stands apart from the rest, that shelter, hearth, and emotional needs are best when shared through simple deeds. And while in time we'll surely falter, never can we possibly alter, that as your parents will yearn to grow, just like as the seed of life we've sown. So help us down these paths afar, their differences may surely mar the climate of the day and such, but in this family, just reach and touch. For you will find us close at hand, with answers kind or reprimand, and though we may not quite agree, let's hope our peace will always be. Thank you. This is a little more gruesome. I was in the military, and the first time I heard about a suicide bombing was after I came back from being deployed in the Gulf of Oman, mirroring a Soviet ship for about 90 days before they took hostages in Iran. So it tells you how old I am. So, Portrait of a Suicide Bombing. I thought about some friends this day in worlds exploding disarray, while scenes so common dissipate. I thought a bit about our fate, and as the rains came trickling down, I heard or thought about the sound of screams and anguish in toasted skin, while up to now the mere chagrin of days so sorry, thoughts so grand, will never more be close at hand. For now the chills of psyches warped will not compare with the pain absorbed, and friends once thought of amidst the pleasure will die so slowly in degrees measured. I had a very dear friend who was 34 years old, and she died on falling off the back of a motorcycle. And I had helped her get custody of her daughters when they were 10 and 7, just writing letters for her. And so I flew from San Diego to Minnesota to read this for her daughters. Losing mom too young. I might get emotional on this one. When you struggle to make sense of why you are apart, kneel down with prayer to God for comfort to soothe your heart. Then as nightfall gently passes and you greet another day, just know your mom will guide you as she shows you on your way. Gathering at a table, dang, with the meal you're about to eat, your mom is watching over and delights in all that's sweet. As you cherish in the moments with a clown or dance or toys, your mom sees all the good times and the things that you enjoy. And as family, friends, and puppies surround you with their love, your mom will beam with smiles from the heavens place above. As each summer passes on, old man winter starts to grin. Your mom will whisper softly in the whistling of the wind. Then as spring brings forth the warmth to each home and frozen place, your mom casts rays of sunshine lightly glistening on your face. And as nightfall brings you rest, you sleep quietly in bed. Your mom will place her kisses so gently upon your head, for she knows that all the stars sparkling brightly in the skies Share their brilliance with the kindness that's reflected in your eyes. How do I know the time? Is there a timer? 20 seconds? Okay, so this is a pretty dark place. Reaching out, submerged, dragged under by the currents of my mind. Life is tossing all its lines before a grasp I cannot find. The entrance door within I came to pools of thought so deep. Nor is there an outlet found for feelings that I keep. Now floundering so wastefully, reaching just for air. I seek to find those close to me will realize that I care. So, that was it.
Mike, you messed up my makeup before I went on stage. Ah! Can we give it up again for Mike, please? That was some really beautiful poetry. As Helen said earlier, my name is Sumaya Ayed. I'm our school programs and education manager here at the museum. Yes, very blessed to work in such an amazing institution. Also a little bit of my poet, you know, but you might see that later, might not. But I am very proud, excited to introduce our next poet, and that is Karen Steinmeier. Can we give it up for Karen, please?
Pressure make diamonds, I'm out of my business. Keep my business out your mouth, bitch. Yeah, keep my business out your mouth.
Hey y'all. Steinmeier, but that's okay. It's a horrible name. So, you know, you get used to it. No, my ex-husband was. So, some of you know that my specialty is poems about sexy. So I do owe you one from last time that we didn't get to read. Remember, you brought me out there with the music. This is, for those who have waited for it, this is an enigma. The eyes, sea glass green, the voice gravelly and high, the accent unmistakable, the wit just spicy enough for me, the mind eloquent, thoughtful, expressive, compassionate, logical, warm, strong, cuddly, sexy, good kisser. You are my wonderful enigma. But alas, you have shown that you are a serial fucker. You charm and use, on rinse and repeat. Maybe someday you will recognize that you are merely dry cleaning your heart. All right, this one's called Chemistry, and it's a cheek and tongue, okay? Like Rubens' Venus, curvaceous me, voluptuous for all to see, never could I be size 3. I am, after all, a double D. No shapewear, no Spanx, no fasting spree. I wear my curves just for me. Older men are callous, think my curves will soften their phallus. A date, finally someone is after me. With athletic build he claims to be. A date or two, there's chemistry. He sure looks heavier to me. But off to bed and we shall see. We sweat and sigh, try one position, then 3. Alas, no fitting, no ecstasy. Too much belly on him for me. When did you last see what drives his lust so crookedly? He decries, I don't know why this has started happening to me. I just roll my eyes and say, dude, don't you watch TV? It's clear to me you have PD. Because when you finally give up finding someone, that's when you usually find someone. So I wrote this week for somebody very special I met recently. And it's called Poetry in Motion. I said, I can't write poetry right now. I'm just too happy. You said, then why don't you write happy poetry? Wow, happy poetry? That's a tough one. Poetry is about loss, loneliness, and heartbreak. But then again, how can I truly be happy if I don't believe it is for me? Or that it could be real, or that I deserve it, or that I won't jinx it. That I could drop my guard, take off my armor, show my survivor scars, and learn to trust again. To willingly expose my heart and bare my soul. I believe I may be ready to write happy poems for myself and for you, who nudged me to see other options with your kind heart and bright smile. Thank
you. She said, look, I'm going to do something about this name, all right? I got to change it up. All right, great energy, great energy. Awesome job, man. Well done, well done. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and slide it on. Y'all having a good time still? Oh, yeah. Make sure y'all are following GrowHouse. We do a lot of awesome events. We do open mics all throughout Tampa. Make sure you continue to follow the Dalí and all the things that are happening here. But with that being said, this name is super duper cool, all right? So I'm really, really excited to say this out loud on the microphone, y'all. Y'all ready to hear your next poem? Let me hear you say yeah. Let me say, oh yeah. And please clap it up for Alistair Colbert.
Thank you, thank you. These poems are short, like 3 or 4 sentences, so like don't blink, it'll be like over. So I picked out maybe 4 or 5, we'll see, should be sufficient. Now this first one I picked out because I was walking through a cornfield with a friend and I go, hey, you know, I don't know how birds and bees work. You know, sex, I got that locked, but the birds and bees thing, I don't understand. So she was explaining to me about bees and pollen and things like that, and that was all very good. And then a while later, we were in like a botanical garden, and I saw some bulb plants. And I said, they can't work like flowers do with the birds and the bees. So like, how do tulips do it? And so a while later, I wrote a poem about potatoes. 2 potatoes groping in the dark love one another in the warm, dry earth. Their neighbors all around extend their eyes to spy, to no avail. A lump of new potato grows. More potatoes for the earth to learn to spy, to love, to make potatoes. And then I'm an engineer, so this next one's an engineering thing, and I decided as an engineer, I write love poems about anything that crosses my mind. So I decided to write what happens when a green light falls in love with a magenta light. And in the engineering knowledge you have to know is they're complementary colors, and when you mix them, they get white, but when they look at each other, they look black. Like each one can't see the other one, literally can't see it. So sorry for the spoiler, but you gotta know your physics there. 2 lights of differing color, one magenta, one green, looked upon the world according to their inner. The green had pity on the other, realizing that for it the room was surely dark, and being charitable, shone the brighter. Not for many years did green notice that together they formed white. There's your physics lesson for the night. And I don't need any explanations for the other ones. I'm just going to read them. This one's called Growth of Understanding. I am, you know, with time I learn, I think, and then I learn to know you, and we learn about each other. I think I know you, but I learn I don't. Slowly, I think I don't know you. And with time, I worry, about us, about you, about how you aren't what I thought I knew you to be. And now with time, I think maybe I can learn to know you. I learn not to think I know you, but just to watch and learn. I think You learn the same, because now, not knowing whether we know each other, we seem to understand us, you, I. Timer man, do I have time for another?
Also 20 seconds.
Oh, got it. I was lost when I fell into your eyes, your smile, your curves. So spacious is reality that I never noticed the sun turn into the moon and months into years, and your laugh into creases that shower gentleness upon the world. I stayed inside your eyes and saw only your smile and felt fed for a lifetime.
That Maritza is my height. Maritza? I do want to mention, for those of you who are walking in now, I know a lot of us were dealing with traffic coming in tonight, we do have our sign-up sheet right up front here with pen. So if anybody who's come in since we've begun, or anybody who is inspired as the night goes on, please do feel free. We do have some spots still open for sign-up. So, yeah. Are we getting sign up? Let's give it up for an additional sign up. So, and as they fill out that form, we will call our next poet up and hear their form from Maritza.
Hi. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. May nothing be lacking, my love, nothing. May your sunsets never break into pieces, nor may the night ever fade between your fingers, nor the wind make you adrift. May nothing disturb your summit, awakening from dreams. May the sea be thirsty for your waters, and the dawn in the mirror of your eyes become a prism. May the candles light up by themselves to the echo of your prayers, and sadness becomes a smile from your lips. May the transparent curtains let the sun paint your blanket. May nothing be lacking, my love, nothing. Kisses be defined by your pores, and the moon bathes you with the endless tremulous. May you be surprised with spikes of aromas from your footprints on every short and long trip. May nothing be lacking, my love, nothing. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I give titles to poems, sometimes I don't. Somebody told me that we are not supposed to give them titles, but somebody that is, But anyway, this one I did is called Colors of Love. It stays inside the brush after touching the canvas, in the ebony of the night from the center of the skin after the kiss. It's in the prism of the sun and rain sleeping on the leaf after the lap, in the white of the cloud embracing the waves after the dreaming, in the chrism crimson of the blood, sealing the lips after the words, voices. Thank you. This one I memorized, so I'm gonna drop them all in the floor. But they are there in case I need them. This was a little different mood. Here I stand, north of me, saying the words unsaid by the others, dropping the tears that their dry eyes haven't, looking at the forms not visible through their vision, feeling the unbroken wind that they have forgotten, listening to the sounds muted to their senses. And as I look south of me, millions of words are spoken as teardrops are pouring, as sounds are heard in the unbroken wind, and teardrops are pouring, moving towards the sunset.
All right, I got a small soapbox rant I'm about to get on real quick. I'll keep it short because I know other people are more important than what I got to say right now. But, however, to the poet that told you that you're not supposed to title your poems, first of all, poetry is about understanding who you are in your most authentic self, right? So whether you decide to title your poems or not decide to title your poems, both of those are good decisions as long as your decision, right? What made her great was the fact that she was up here and she was herself. That's what made you a great poet. So fuck the rules, do the poems, and come up here and I'm sorry, can we swear? I'm sorry, I apologize. I just realized. Anyways, all right. Okay. All right, y'all ready to hear next poet? Let me hear you say yeah. Oh yeah. I'm really excited to call up this next poet. That's my brother. He also hosts one of the best open mics in Tampa Bay. Because that's across the bridge, not in St. Pete, so we're not competing, you know what I'm saying? He's also an incredible poet. Y'all please clap it up for the Charles Hines!
What's going on, St. Pete? I am Charles Hines, also known as the Charles Hines. All right, quick plug. If you're out in the Tampa area, make sure you come hang out with GrowHouse every first Monday of the month. We do an open mic at the Commodore, and every third Monday of the month, we do an open mic at Coffee Me. Come check us out if you like these artsy spaces. All right, I'm gonna read two quick ones because I see a timer right there, and that gives me anxiety. I time people all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna do a poem from a new book, and then I'm gonna do a poem from an old book, okay? Poem from a new book first. This is called Stormy Weather. I blame the rain on you, a force so strong my depression pollutes the air. Clouds express what I can't, a passion too heavy for cumulus to hold. The sun does not shine today or tomorrow. Too lovesick to wake itself up, let alone the rest of us. The center of the universe falls out of balance, abandoning all life forms. It keeps raining all the time. Too long to remember your warmth, but not long enough to stop missing it. I'm just waiting for you to realize how dangerous it is for us to be apart. And I blame myself. Did I make you God? A type of eternity that could only be spent in heaven? Did I love you so supernatural you done changed the weather? Now, I pray the clouds pry their hands from my neck. I break so much the sky cries with me. But ain't that the only way to love somebody? That'll be in a book that'll be published whenever it gets published. All right. Writers in here, raise your hand if you've ever experienced writer's block. Okay, so this is a poem from writer's block. I hope it makes y'all feel a little bit better and makes me feel better. It's called A Message from Writer's Block. God sent me to protect you. In the beginning was the Word, Yahweh, the first poet. Tamed the lightning in his chest, and there was day. He lent his breath to the clay, and we were the first poem. He filled our lungs with calligraphy, history, ordained storytellers who carried cultures in their cadences, and they were trusted to build our narratives. Then, written word was God's first manifestation of eternal life, a transfer of spirit, person to page, more permanent than breath. You know he meant for you to live forever, right? And a life that's longer than forever needs protecting, so thank me for all those sleepless nights you spent staring at blank pages. I kept you focused. I kept you intentional. I made you greater than your human. You think the Lord healed the sick with mumble rap? He won't part in seas with his rough drafts. See, many have come before you. Lungs leaking lustful literature. Many have been great and have died. But today, you stand, a poet, with eternal life between your fingers. Do not forget where you come from. You're a poet, gifted with gab that breaks chains and melts faces, an anointed tongue. Words more concrete than a heartbeat, where supernatural bows to superpowers. A poet cloaked in the breath of the Father, galaxies lounging in your larynx. I pray that every time you speak, you are reminded of how much you are like him. And as God's voice did not shake when he called forth the light, neither will yours. Only the ground beneath you bringing forth a new day. Thank you.
I am definitely feeling like a worshiper, definitely, of you all here, absolutely, and the Charles Hine. Next up to our microphone is Testimona. We can give it up for that.
Hey y'all, how you guys doing? Good. Can we give it up for everybody who's gone so far up to this point? And thank you for being here, and thank you for the space. It's beautiful. So my name's Testimona. I am a poet, singer, and songwriter, and I'm just gonna read a quick poem called Barcode Humanity. And I just wrote it, so you guys are the first to hear it. So, all right. Get this barcode off of me. We've turned humanity into gladiator games, funeral pyres of bread, kerosene. Welcome to the graveyard of dreams. Get this barcode off of me. They want artists to destroy themselves, to gratify the shared celebrity of collective suicide. Maybe we'll get flowers when we're dead, but flowers even then are an if. Death is always a when. I don't want flowers. I want to be free. I didn't go through epochs of hell, now toting medicines of microdose resurrections for nothing. I want to be free. I don't want to hear your dead words, build your dead dreams, sacrifice the screaming urge to live within the cell of my being, who already do regular jujitsu with a mind often prone to thoughts of suicide, all for the laughable promise of some somatic afterlife. Preachers, kin, neighbors, teachers, all are like court jesters to me. They all are pointing toward the same. Sacrifice yourself to the beast. We'll reward you with fiat currency backed by nothing but faith. So suddenly it controls everything. We'll give half of it to a government whose primary vocation is genocide and war games. Anytime you notice you're slipping away into a graveyard of dreams, we'll call you lazy, unrealistic, tell you it's too late. We'll shame the creative priestess warrior spirit out of you before you come of age. Soon, we won't have to keep you in line. We've implanted the neuroses program of self-hatred into your mind that you now mistake as your inner guide. Get this barcode off of me. I solemnly swear I'll do my best to never again cut my own wings. Permission to live is not granted by the graveyard of dreams. Freedom is not granted by those who stamp this barcode onto humanity, nor is it on our autopilot tendency of allowing ourselves to remain on the conveyor belt of manic urgency. Permission to live is not granted by the death cult masquerading as society. Permission to live is only something I can grant me. So I pray. My Creator, I am now willing that you should have all of me, the good and the bad. Illuminate the way through the difficulties that I may be of maximum service to you, my soul, and my fellow human beings. Lift me from the snares and vices that I compulsively feed. Help me to trust you. Help me to trust me, that I may feel safe enough to be seen. I've begun to think I fear silence and stillness so much, become agoraphobic to life itself because I am afraid of me. Wake me up, please. Give me the strength to honor my heartbeat. Blessed be. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. All right, our list is full. You're going to hear less from me and more from these other poets. Y'all ready to hear this next poet? Let me hear you say, yeah. Let me hear you say, oh, yeah. Coming all the way from right there. Clap it up for Zara. Come!
Hi. My name is Zara. I'm going to talk a little bit about the poem that I'm performing because the poem's not that long. I wrote this poem earlier this year for a family friend who passed away. She actually owned a restaurant here in St. Pete. I figured this would be the perfect way to honor her. Her name was Sana. Every one of the stanzas in the poem spell out her name. I wasn't super close to her, but I did see her less than 48 hours before she passed away. So that kind of shook me up. Yeah, and I don't know if we're doing this, but you can find me on Instagram at Words from Behind the Mask. Saw her but 48 hours before anyone could have guessed. Nobody knew, only Allah knows best. She had kind eyes and a sarcastic laugh. She was nothing short of amicable and humbly amassed. It was something out of the movies, always assuming there's a sequel or after credit scene. No. Sometimes it's just abrupt, like the sound of a voice crack or a rooster at dawn, nesting its habitat and allowing others to wake up. Sometimes you don't get to wake up. When the alarm of the rooster has been permanently nuzzled and snoozed, and dawn breaks along with her father's heart. Sister to two brothers now torn apart from them, and mother hen. Nobody knew an angel of a human being would be taken. She owned a shop in St. Pete that twisted Indian and American cuisine to marry spices like nutmeg, coriander, cardamom, bay leaves, and star anise. She was somebody's niece and someone's confidant. Now she's my hero because a 30-second convo is etched into my memory. She said she would open up a Tampa location and died 2 days later. Now I'm not sure what the word later means. And I hope I get to visit that location one day. I saw some feathers on Morris Bridge Road a few miles from home. Never realized why the chicken crossed it. But as always, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.
Sweater if you all keep giving me goosebumps like this. So, yes, Zara, we are absolutely doing that. Please do plug yourselves. Let us know where we can find you, either in stores or online. That was words from behind the mask for Zara. And coming up next, my memory fails now. We have a Ramona. A Ramona? Yes. No, a Gemini Fox, excuse me. My mind skipped ahead. So a Gemini, please, thank you.
Oh, stop. To those of you who don't know, I am a fashion designer and my skirts are always down to my ankles, so now the people that know me are freaking out. I am Gemini Fox. You can find me on Instagram at Gemini Fox Poetry, and this poem is entitled Painting Roses. The sun shone like any midsummer's day. The wind was crisp and cool on our sweaty brows. Two little girls laid on a dusty playground. One got up in a trance, picking up scattered paper. She stooped down next to her companion, as still as a rock, her back to us, only making slight movements. She seemed not to care, seemed not to see us or to hear us as we approached. As we called to her, she was on a different plane. The first soldier walked cautiously towards them, making his way to their left, gasped in horror, stumbled back, almost fell on the corpse of a woman who had laid there for at least 2 days. The other, thinking his comrade was a weakling, made his way, flanked her to the right, and immediately threw up. One by one, grown men hardened by battle stood there, puzzled, nauseous, or were forced to turn away. Then it was my turn. To see what had brought on such reactions, I walked over to her and saw. She didn't raise her head, not until I touched her shoulder and I said, "My dear, what are you doing?" "I'm painting," she said.
Really? Are you? Was my response. My sister, she was painting with me, but I think she fell asleep. I looked over at what the men had seen, and my stomach turned, but not with fear or disgust or nausea. It was a sadness that I could not name, so I knelt down next to her and asked her, "What are you painting?" "Flowers," she said. "Ah," was my only response. I was not sure what else to say. Then she asked me a question. "Miss, what kind of flowers do you see? They're red, right?" "Yes," I said. "You're painting roses." "Oh, yes," she said. "Ah, I can see them now." "What do you think?" she asked. "They're beautiful, my dear. Your roses are beautiful." See, when I think of war, I don't think of enemies. I don't think of soldiers or gladiators. I don't think of machines without faces. When I think of war, I always think of the casualties. Those faces you will never see, those names you will never know, those screams you will never hear, the scars that do not go away. I think of the bonsai children, the ones who grow strong but crooked, entire generations of them, learning to adapt to the pain, learning to adapt with limbs blown off, with roots severed from their parents. When I think of war, there is no victory. Everybody loses something. Sometimes everything. The difficulty in being connected to everyone is feeling for everyone. And that's what people are afraid of. Jews, Muslim, Black, white, African, Caucasian. The difficulty in loving is that it hurts every time. The next time you look at the news, find a face that resembles the people that are suffering on either side. That's all I ask. My name is Gemini Fox. My mother calls me Stephanie Jackson. I am Caribbean, proud, and I have everyone in my family. Now, including all of you. Thank you.
Because that is what we all came to do. Clap it up, you got a little bit freer from that last poem, man. All right, y'all, we are about to get even more free because I already forgot the name that I was supposed to call it. Y'all, please start clapping it up, start clapping it up, start clapping it up for Ramona Angelo! All right, ready? Ramona's still working on getting up to stage, so we're going to do all the way to the stage. All the way to the stage. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Ramona Angelo. Ramona is wise protector, by the way, and Angelo is a messenger of God. So unfortunately, that name didn't really help me when we were growing up in a very traumatic environment as a child. And what I'm going to read to you today is an abstract of my book. In 2021, I went to Puerto Rico for 6 months and purged my soul onto 100,000 words and 38 chapters. And today, I haven't had the courage to publish it yet. So tonight, as a result of Maureen McDowell, who everybody knows, right? The lady who started St. Pete Lit, encouraged me to write something back in 2022 that inspired by a photograph. So when myself and some friends, I grew up in New Orleans. When some storms came through here in this fall of 2022, I went to New Orleans to evacuate from storms here, which is ironic because I was there when Katrina hit in 2005. And I brought back a picture of a bayou. And she asked that we write from a photograph. I wrote this, and I realized that it's an abstract of my book. So it wasn't intended at the time, but that's exactly what happened. So tonight I lift up the curtain to my soul, and I let you see the healed me, ready to make myself public. So, deep within the Louisiana bayous lives a malevolent presence as thick as the dense fog hovering over the brackish waters. It's buried in the memories of past generations and carried over in the tales of their youth. Locals reveal their personal encounters in hopes of easing their anxiety and alleviating their fears. Listeners laugh to relieve the eeriness and to lighten the mood. The darkness pervaded every aspect of Francesca's world as far back as she can recall. She has no first memory of it because it thrived in the air her mother breathed while Francesca was still in her mother's womb. Yeah. She searched far and wide for answers to overcome its powers with few effects. Feeling like she was starting at square one time and time again, her frustration fueled her anger, and her anger fueled her ambition. She was going to beat whatever it was that prevented her from achieving lasting happiness. In God with Skin, the name of my book, God with Skin, From Trauma to Truth, Francesca personifies her strength and how never giving up ultimately yields a semblance of light, varying in shades of white and black. As she moves between the light and the obstacles that prevent her from capturing it, she begins to unveil the darkness beneath her suffering. Laughing about the darkness doesn't help with addressing real-life issues that need real-life remedies. The cultural mindset compels her deeper investigation in discovering what's wrong and bringing forth a solution, but it's hard work. The answers don't come overnight. She digs her heels into her quest and prepares for an arduous stint. There is no timeline for this effort, nor is there an exit door. She has no choice but to push forward.
So since we were the first to hear the abstract, I also expect us to be the first to hear when we do have a publication date. Okay, Ramona? Coming up next to the mic, we have David Lopez. If we can please give it up for Mr. Lopez coming down the way.
How you doing, guys? My name is David. All right, I'm kind of new to this space and kind of new to performing, so just please bear with me. So this one's titled The Functioning. I wake up like a machine on schedule, smile stitched to my face like it's sewn with fishing line. Invisible, painful, tugging at the corners, but no one sees the hook, only the bait. I brush my teeth with autopilot hands, rinse the tired off my skin, layer cologne over yesterday's shadows and call it fine. I clock in with a heart that's clocked out. My soul takes the day off, but my body shows up anyway. I answer phones, send emails, paint walls, shake hands, like a mannequin with muscle memory, performing joy in fluent motions while drowning silently. Beneath the surface of routine, I'm a functioning depressive. An expert in camouflage, my sadness is dressed in painted cover clothes. Laugh at your jokes, remembers birthdays, and gives the best advice while ignoring its own cries for help. You see, my sorrow is elegant. It doesn't scream, it whispers in poetry beneath eyelids, writes metaphors on foggy mirror each morning, but I wipe them away. I wipe them away before anyone else can read them. I'm the ghost that no one believes in because I'm still here, aren't I? Working, smiling, living, and I press the button, excuse me. So they think I must be okay, but they don't hear the symphony of shattering inside me, the glass cathedral of my dreams collapsing one prayer at a time. They don't feel the weight of existing when everything inside you has gone missing. I'm the lighthouse with the bulb that has burned out, but I still stand. I still stand and turn. They don't notice the absence of light, just the structure that remains. They say you're strong, but strength isn't always what it seems. Sometimes strength is dragging your body through a day that you didn't ask to wake up to. Sometimes it's holding in every scream because you've run out of places to be heard. I'm tired of being praised for surviving when I'm not allowed to admit I'm barely alive. So yes, I laugh, but sometimes the laughter is a suicide note folded into origami and passed around like party favors. Sometimes jokes are bandages that bleed through before the punchline even ends. The smile, it's a stitched veil over a casket. This focus, a distraction from the slow leak in my soul. I'm not lazy, I'm not weak, I'm not ungrateful. I'm just tired of being a walking contradiction, a candle burning at both ends, pretending it's sunlight. So if you see me, really see me, don't ask me why I'm sad when everything seems fine. Ask me how I keep going when everything isn't. And maybe just sit with me in the silence that I've been screaming into all along, because even functioning ghosts long to be felt. Thank you.
All right, David. You said this was your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time.
This was his first time. I want you to take this moment and realize that you need to keep fucking doing this. Y'all, let David know he needs to keep doing this. Awesome job, bro. Amazing, man. It's such a conundrum, right? Because you know that talented writing came from a lot of pain, right? I don't want you being more pain, but please keep writing. Please keep writing, man. Excellent job. All right, y'all. I just wanted to make that moment because that was amazing. All right. If y'all are ready to hear your next poet, another amazing poet is going to come up here, rock everybody's socks off. Let me hear y'all say yeah. And please clap it up for Blaine!
I am nothing. As nothing, I can be anything. And because I can be anything, I am everything. I am no one. As no one, I can be anyone. And because I can be anyone, I am everyone. I am nowhere. As nowhere, I can be anywhere. And because I can be anywhere, I am everywhere. I am now here as nothing, no one, nowhere. Therefore, everything, everyone, everywhere, by someone who wanted to say something, somewhere, made out of nothing, no one, nowhere. I am everything, everyone, everywhere. Always, always. Thank you. I am blazed. That is a adjective, verb, noun, and state of being. You can find me on Instagram at blazedmedia_. Thank you for having me. Have a good night.
We have another well-known coming to the stage from GrowHouse's own, and that is a Mr. Sean Anthony.
Howdy. My name is Sean Anthony. I have some music for you. I wrote this about 5 days ago and I'm still trying to memorize it, so. Take tiny steps and fall to pieces. Take tiny steps and fall to pieces. The butterfly effect, uncanny sequence. Tune back in to my previous frequency. See fractions they divide, greater purpose. Well, who am I to carry these curses? So I take tiny steps and fall to pieces. I take tiny steps and fall to pieces. My noodle ain't the place that it used to be. Burned rubber tires, smells like ecstasy. A walkie red drill screams in the trunk. Every rotation makes clarity. Blender junk. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, took tiny steps, fell to pieces. Took tiny steps and fell to pieces. You wanna take a ride for the weekend? Get all the pleasure you've been seeking. Drive a little fast, always freewheeling. That's what happens when you're racing demons. Hit the brakes a little hard, but hey, don't sweat it. You got a couple seconds to regret it. Center constant mirror shows a one-way fade. It's the last time that you'll feel this way. Next time you blink, wake with permanent scars. Will you remember who you are? Take tiny steps and fall to pieces. Take tiny steps and fall to pieces. One of these days you'll find the meaning. One of these days you'll remember the reason. One of these days you'll know who you are. Chances are that he died inside of that car. Thank you.
All right, y'all. We love Sean. We appreciate you, Sean. Thank you. I was unaware of this, but it's just so we know for future reference, it is a poetry exclusive open mic. That was poetry. We appreciate. We're gonna accept it. We're gonna pretend that it was poetry, and we had a good time with it. But just so, there you go. But just so we all know, poetry from here on out. If y'all with that, let me hear you say poetry. Y'all, we are almost done. We got enough people left for y'all to have a good time. If y'all ready to hear your next poet, let me hear you say yeah. Let me say, oh yeah! And please clap it up. Coming all the way from steeped poetry, legendary status, Settle!
I don't need it.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. All right. If you can.
Hi, everyone. Go stream my friend's music, by the way. So I have some old shit and some new shit. This old shit I actually wrote like a year ago around this time, which is crazy. I'll let you guys let me know how you feel about it. You keep trying and trying to reach some type of validation, but you keep running and running from your emotions. Your money keeps draining in a very unlucky fashion, and you keep losing at trying to do better to feel better actions. I am so lost, y'all. Is this what it means to be in your 20s? I am so lost, y'all. It's not just about me, it's everything. Bombs going off close to home, kids dying off through America's generational wealth. I am so lost, y'all. I can't contain myself. Men won't stop touching us inappropriately. People won't stop judging us for wanting to be free. You keep trying to keep it together and bypass your depression. You keep trying to stay away from all that reminds you your heart is gushing. It's not even about you. It's what's been done to you. It's not even about you. It's the you see through these poets, spoken word through you. I am so lost, y'all. Is this what it means to be turning 21? I am so lost, y'all. I really can't even keep a job. It's not even about me, it's these chemicals in my food. I am so lost, y'all. I can't go through a day without almost passing out. Don't know how to not be the reinforcer of my core beliefs. It's not even about me. I just wish it could be. You keep surviving each day in despair of what's going on in Gaza. You keep questioning if you're enough, feeling like you can't do anything at all. It's not even about you, it's this twisted fucking world. It's not even about you. You wish it would all stop. I am so lost, y'all. I could use some advice. I am so lost, y'all. I can't make peace with my mind. But it's not even about me. It's this society. And it's not even about me. How can I make peace within myself when the world is lacking it in any fucking means? I'm just gonna go into the next one really quick. You failed me. As I looked for traces of myself on the paper towels soaked in red, I looked for you in my head, my chest, and your voicemail. It's controversial and traumatizing for everyone involved. Train wreck, sad face, sexy when she's crying. I look for help in rainwater puddles in concrete. I look back and my anger is all I feel about your face, sex. Your demeanor feels push-off-ish in all my memories. It's 'cause of those texts, calls, said and unsaids, words, names. I don't miss you like I did when the cuts were fresh. I look back, I gasp for air under your arm, headlock, test, rest, your pheromones on my neck, face. My room is a mess, yes, you left me there. Your trace is a smell of metallic flesh. Memory is an inconsiderate guess that I may let your hands anywhere near my rain puddle, red train wreck, sexy eyes, Polly Pocket doll. Oh girl, let me put you in my polyamorous experimental pocket of avoidance with a side of good music, lull you out your basket. I'm not a cobra, and that is not a damn flute. That pity food was too salty anyway.
And yes, as we are live streamed, this video that we are creating right now of tonight's event will be posted on the Dalí's YouTube page unless y'all get us taken down with any content warnings. Okay? So, if you are very pleased with your performance tonight, make sure that you share that link to your mom, your grandma, your aunts, your friends, your fellow poets, okay? That is a resource for you. Coming up next to the microphone is Andres. Do we have an Andres? There we go. Andres Del Vecchio.
It's been a while since I've been on stage, so it's very nice to have such a beautiful and attentive crowd and so many talented people. I have a few things to talk about. The color blue, the smell and the taste of gin, the smell and the taste of sage and cinnamon, and sapphires, but also that most common metal, which is tin. I bow before Jupiter. I bow before he or she that has conquered the finite. And with that, I have at least some poetry, so something. I lost all my teeth, but I was a wiser man for it. They grew back as fangs and filed themselves to fine points. Show me something deserving of my silence. Thanks. I don't know how much time I have with the timer, but I do have some. Whew, okay, perfect. I have some cut-up writing since we're in the Dalí Museum, so a surrealist technique which involves cutting up books. So I'm sorry for all you publishers in the audience. St. Anthony gone mad on drugs, water damage, and more. The dream in action, expenses be damned. Our small selves stone broke and pouring sweat. Weighed down with anchor chains in the womb of the desert sun. The heavens burning with fever, laugh at this strange torpedo, our astonished world. A world of haunting beauty, mystery everywhere. Imprisoned for ransom or for pleasure in the cold magnesium frame of free enterprise. Vandalism. Unlimited credit, screech saints and madonnas and fawns with wild red eyeballs and trembling hands. Plenty of cash on the line. They speak through red slashes of lipstick beneath movements of the stars, pipelines, and cathedrals. They try to pretend they're not hungry. Thank you.
Y'all keep it going for Andrea! Oh yeah! We're gonna just keep it on moving because we have a hard cutoff at 8 and we want to make sure everybody gets their time on here. If y'all with that, let me hear you say, let's go! All right, y'all, coming up to the stage right now. Clap it up for Marceline!
Hello, everyone. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Provisionary Fairy. You pick me apart like it's your last supper, clawing through my heart just to see me suffer. But when all seems lost, there's the heart of the king and the hand of the Lord, and God promising to carry you through the storm, to whisk you up and away from the evils of this earth, exchange rates of sin for good acts that serve. The greater good that is, the greater word that is, in the name of his son that is. They always say the path to paradise is through hell, and your testimony will be a story to tell. But I'm trembling and shaking from the heavens to the ground, and my heart forever aches for a love that cannot be found. I'm hiding out in this place I call my mind, and Apostle Paul's judgment pierces through my spine. I'm spun around and disoriented by the hands of time. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. And when they tell me I must choose the lesser of two evils, I'm torn by the inevitable fate waiting for us at the cathedral. If it's evil, why must I choose it to begin with? If I only have this one body, why must it be one I sin with? If I sit with it in my hands and I'm at the will of fleeting chance, why would I stand in the downpour of life when I can just dance? Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Empathy. It's a dying art. A cage full of animals, a tank full of sharks. But if they could fathom how delicate your skin was, would they still tear through it so effortlessly? Would they still tear you to shreds lying face down in your own bed? Or would they pick you up and show you that kindness still exists, something from the gates of heaven, leading you by your wrist? Pushing you through all the danger and blood, you're saved by the ark, just in time for the flood. There's no greater danger and there's no greater need. There's always two parts of your soul fighting, but which one wins? The one you feed. This is my last one for the day. Death. It's something I resonate with, but I'm not allowed to say that. Why? Because when I was a kid, I was chased by monsters and terrified to try, to become who I am, to build my own wings and fly. Into the abyss with a handful of doubts, I'm greeted by love, both whispers and shouts. When I fly into a building and knock the wind from my feet, I'm told I should have listened, that I'm showered in defeat. But death doesn't have to mean the end, especially in my imagination, a world of make-pretend. You see, during this life and all that's to come, I've died 1,000,000 times and only lived one. Just because I'm dead doesn't mean I'm not flying. I'm just picking and choosing what pieces of myself are worth living and which are worth dying. Every day a funeral with burying the past, swinging around a shovel and breaking through glass, a mosaic of life and all that's good and right. I'm a patchwork of potential hiding in the night.
It's going to be a little spelling test for y'all. Provisionary fairy. Okay, you got that? So give it up again for Marceline, please. And I know we have been dealing with a lot of heavy stuff tonight, but don't worry, we have a Messiah in the building. That is Miss Alice Messiah coming to the mic now.
Hi guys, I'm Alice. I'm gonna share 2 poems. Hopefully I do not go over time. I don't think I will. The first one is about the digital age and children growing up with this just influx of information that they might not be ready for. God bless the little children. Where are the little children, more like little men and women? They are beginning to feel antsy, for they are fed too much. A few taps away from everything, anything but touch, all is cheap and there to see, and you would think that this would set them free, but the children are enslaved to sensuality. No peace, hopscotch, jumping through infinite realities. They fall and bleed, but nobody sees the scrapes on their knees. No peace, because they know it was their choice, and to cope, they cry and raise their voice about things they do not understand. And with their anger misdirected, they set fire to their land. They drag each other through the mud. And when that is not enough of a rush, they shed each other's blood. They say, pacify me. Take me to the big screen that glimmers with perversity. Give me drugs and ecstasy. Take the edge off of my make-believe adversity. Allow me to lick crumbs of sympathy off of your fingertips. Spare me likes and followers while my dignity slips. They know that they are spoiled, for they are seated at the table of a feast, and they know that all things aside, they should be able to eat at least. But I have a simple explanation on a sadder note, that there is a beast called shame that holds the children by their throat. Thanks. How much time? Okay. Perfect, I have 2 minutes. This next poem, I was born in Egypt. I'm a Christian. There's a lot of persecution for Christians in Egypt. And during my last trip, I was speaking to this woman whose son left for Europe, and he got caught up in all these like drugs and just the land of the free, right? And he doesn't speak to his mother anymore in my village. And so this poem's about that. You call yourself a Christian and a brown man, but you leave that title at every perverse door. You wipe the ground with it, you won't be inconvenienced. You get caught up in this land of the free, and you bow down to your flesh, thinking it has more in store, forgetting that claiming Christ is what your people have been slaughtered for generations, all for their children, who then run to different nations to worship God in a gun, in a needle, in a glass, in a bullet, tending to wounds they did not have to feel because he already bore it, shedding blood they did not have to spill because he already shed it. You ache, but you laugh. You bleed, but you laugh. From dust you came, and to dust you will return. God bless your mother who weeps for you with fervent concern. She has nothing but him, and the angels he sends to stroke her hair when you fail to be son, when you fail to be there, insensitive, searching for a sedative, and you laugh. Not a single silent moment there is war in your head. At moments you forget with a drink in your hand or a woman in your bed saying, Mama, I know you miss me, but I'm desperate to keep busy. She offers to you her wisdom. You are too numb to pay attention, too numb to give a crumb of your time or affection, too numb to try to relieve the tension she feels between what is and what should be. The tragic reality that the fruit of her womb has fallen, rotten, dead at her feet, and that her child does not know the beauty that it is to meet Yeshua.
And y'all keep that applause going. Keep that applause going for St. Pete's own, doing a lot of amazing events out here, Maisha! Is she here? Is your sister here? Oh, his
All right, so we know this is Florida, right? It's the lightning capital. So I'm scared of fucking lightning, but I didn't choose to live here though. So my parents did. So I wrote a poem about lightning, but I have one and then a small one. Lightning. They say when the thunder roars, you start counting 100, until you get to 10. If the lightning flashes and thunder, they say don't get close to the water. Don't be near any windows. Don't be near anything tall or metal. 2 100, 3 100. I see lightning strikes. They go through people, burn holes, leaving external scars through flesh and spine, and some survivors, most dead. The crackle of the thunder warns everyone how dangerous Mother Nature can get, and most of us listen. Those who do not, well, they ass fall victim. Get inside, neighborhood grannies yell. Out their front door screams, if you don't play with God, they say. I always felt terrified of it. The sounds, the lightning shows, unpredictable. I hide in closets or windowless rooms. The best spot, my grandma's room. She was always safe for me to hover over. It gets closer. 4 100, 5 100. The lights go off. I see lightning chase itself in the kitchen. Boy, blow out the microwave. I sit in the room. A little girl then, they say to stay out the kitchen. That's my favorite place. When there's lightning, they say cars are safe. Hell no. Because of the rubber tires. But hell, that blow up too. Why this fear? I'm not scared of bugs, animals, or reptiles, or even the wild sea. 6 100, 7 100. Newspaper headlines read, man's car explode due to lightning strike. Shit. Florida, the lightning capital. Lightning, one of the deadliest weather hazards in the world. And we live in a sunshine state, and we're number 1. 8 100, 9 100, 10 100. Get your ass inside. I always like that one. That's fun. But hell, just be safe, people. Don't be out there riding your bikes at no golf, Mr. Wallace. All right. So this is my last one. Everybody is a great book, okay? You're the rare old book that people seek to find. Some bribe and scheme and sell it quick, just to later realize that you're a valuable book. One that can encourage, guide, and self-reflect. Honey, you are the navigational guide. The intellect read over and over and over. You're the book that has to be read 3 to 10 times, 3 to 10 times. Kept as a reference to return back to, one that is protected and left in a safe. You're the kind of book that people protect from the rain, will grab as precious like a diamond during a fire. You're that book that adds to generational intelligence. You aren't just the rare book, rare and saved. You should be saved because you're rare, rare, rare. You're the kind of book.
And we're gonna move it quick with the ringer.
Taking responses to this question in the forms of woos and yes. How y'all doing tonight, St. Pete? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I figured because I said the woos and yes thing. What's going on? Can we give it up for all the poets tonight? Can we give it up for GrowHouse? Love you guys. You're doing amazing. Give it up for the Dalí giving us this space. Amazing stuff. You can, if you want to find me, you can do that on ye old Instagram at whoisthe_ringer, all one word. This poem is called Soundproofing. In the corner of my apartment, there is a closet door buttressed with bath towels stuffed with pillows, hatches battened down, instrument cases upon which a laptop precariously braces itself for a tenant to halt mid-melody. I wonder if I'm too loud. When I was still too young to know what it meant, my mother took me to the audiologist. She said it like that, audiologist, giving every syllable enough room to weigh on my conscience. The audiologist placed me inside of a plastic box, I assume like a pair of brand new Air Jordans on patient zero. Had I done something wrong? Me on the other side of a plexiglass confessional, her. Me dry as the bone in the center of a cyclone, her. Me, sorry, could you repeat that? Her asking me to click until I could no longer hear a sound. Me hearing nothing at all and lying. My first concert tickets I paid for in blood. Tore off a chunk of my ear, Van Gogh style, and chucked it on stage for every power chord they chugged out of those Marshall 32-inch cabinets. Separated by 5 feet of vertical distance, where my jealousy cannot reach, where people scream at you to be louder. Instead of, get out of the way, I can't see. Hey, how tall are you anyways? I have never measured my height in inches, but in mid-melodies, and I'm pretty sure that makes me a giant. Let me play you some of my greatest hits, like closing piano lids, not tapping your feet, second moment, humming just a little bit quieter, please. Don't you think a tech job would pay more? They took my music away from me before my ears ever got the chance. In return, they gave me these. When I put them in, a voice on the other side warns me to keep it down. Whatever it is that needs to be kept down inside of a soundproofed closet I still sometimes absent-mindedly click inside of. Knocks on the door haunt every stillborn song in this apartment. Noise complaints scheme underneath the bed. I think I've been screaming in my sleep because my voice is hers. So no, that was not a mistake. I can feel the caskets in the middle of my throat. My bad dreams consist of asking people to repeat themselves and my future children looking up at me mid-melody telling me, Dad, I can't hear you. When I take them out, it is not silent, but it's quieter. The voice is my own. And it reminds me to make damn sure they hear you.
Y'all keep it going for the ringer. And I want y'all to keep that applause going. Keep that applause going for your next poet. I can't hold it inside. I can't wait to be
Hi friends, how's it going? Thank you, so are you? I have never been to this museum, so this is a huge treat. This piece is new. I hope you guys like it. And yeah, I don't have it titled, so I'm just gonna go in for it. I keep my feelings in a chamber. I lock them up tight because they like to ooze out and infect ones who don't know how to appreciate or reciprocate them. I keep my feelings closed up into a chamber away from the world because exposing them myself would become a target. With the wall that's been let down. There's goons and goblins trying to break down my city walls, trying to climb up the trailed vines that pour from my heart to reach all the imported feelings. Like stuffed in a bottle, a message out to sea, they lack what's needed for my chamber to be free. So I stay armed and ready to block off potential scammers as drawing dimmer to the loneliness that approaches near. I keep my feelings in a chamber to guard them away from ones who use them poorly. But mostly, I keep my feelings in a chamber completely guarded because I can't be trusted with my feelings that are sincere. I'm a golden retriever when it comes to love, where I reflect what I feel with full transparency, not simply wanting the puppy love, but the responsibility it takes to care for. Easy to make a friend, willing to dive in deep conversations, ready to comfort the broken heart, poured out on my sleeve, my shirt is drenched like an open wound. So emotionally perceptive to others around, but my feelings are kept in this chamber of my heart. I keep it guarded and try my best to discern from distractions and seductive eyes, not willing to be a temptress to get the attention that's described as so divine, so I wait and keep my feelings in a chamber, patient, not daunting, and awaiting the real love that's tender and dear. And that's that piece. Do I have time for one more? Yeah. All right. I apologize. All right. My head is swirling. You caught me by surprise. See, you gotta know I'm not normally like this. But you got me listening to country, and I'm not even really all about that. Like, you make me feel, for real, I'm nervous, and that doesn't even happen. You see the things I want to say before they're even spoken, and understand why my heart is even like that. It's an uncanny attraction I have for you, like a craving, because you feed what I typically give others. You encourage me and see me for me. Everything I have to offer in my petite small being, my wonderful soul and heart to help you see me. Like, dang, you noticed me. And it's crazy, out of any guy I have met or have had some attraction to, I've always been the one giving and pouring into them. Why are leaving me empty all the same? This is insane. You see me, like I feel that. And I don't mean that you see my brown hair or freckled skin, but you see the heart that I haven't even shown you yet, that most people don't. You figured me out. And not to say that I haven't tried to do the same, but with what you had shared, I truly understand, and I might be persistent, but I just know what I want. I'm not one to push, I'd rather get pursued, and the only way you saw me and allowed me to see you is because of this wave drowning you by the same surprise you were on my path. And I'm not trying to get ahead of myself or build some kind of fantasy up in my head about us, but you see me, and that makes any woman feel respected. You noticed all those small things, and without any games or bull, I noticed you. Noticing me from across the room, and I see you too. I got a sweet tooth, so regardless of how this turns out, I'll still be craving you. And life's way too short. I've been shown that in too many ways it's unfair. You got me Twitter-pated, and I thought you should know. You were probably used to this, but to me, it was a connection. And I'm not one to leave things unsaid, so the least I'll do is just let you know, hey, I'm feeling you. We are told not to express our thoughts and feelings too soon. You aren't supposed to expose yourself like that, but you know, that's life, that's art, that's risk, that's pain, that's emotions, that's air, that's truth, that's beauty, that's being bold, that's rawness in its rarest form. That's love, that's poetry. My name's Allure. You guys can find me on Miss Lordy Lou on Instagram. Thanks, guys.
We have one more poet coming to the mic this evening. I'm sorry, we will not be able to get to our standby names as the museum officially closes at 8, but we're still here all together. And that last poet will be Sun Truth. Sun Truth. See, I didn't know the truth.
Peace. Just my height too. Perfect. So I got two of them. Brief. This is fitting since we're at the Dalí. Brushstrokes of pain, perfectly portrayed within a fragile frame. Palettes of passion blending into an indigo paint. Blunt smokes of indica strains sifts through the brain. Bloodstains from childhood wounds come out to play. Scraped needs and bruised egos, I'm damaged enough. But I'm bandaged in love, mastered peace upon the ceilings above, while the galleries of hope heal my soul. I said I've been through enough dust, I will never fold, mindset in gold. Now watch the mysteries unfold, like a lotus of 1,000 petals blooming in stone. Diamonds. Writing runes upon the jewels of my crown, I'm shining, because I'm in alignment. Peace. This one is called Freedom Ain't Free. Nah, freedom ain't free. Its currency is tears at the exchange rate of martyrs. Trading land for lives has always been the system of barter, and justice is only a concept, an inferno that burns in the bosom of the righteous. Of course, we know it's just us against the forces of devilishment, nihilists, those soulless beings who have not the spark of life, but whom have hearts of just ice with indiscriminate inclinations towards death and destructions like blind parasites. And equality is as elusive as a snake, especially when offered in the fangs of vampires. But over the ramparts, they watched. The city slowly bleeding as schools turned into funeral pyres. The children have been cast into the bloody mire, and their dreams have become like dust and ashes. In their dreams, they still see the terrible flashes and feel the deafening rumbles. They sleep with their eyes open, mumbling for the memories of their mothers, crushed in the crumble of their humble abodes. Shell-shocked, they stumble, bumbling in the rubble of the withered streets that they used to know. But alhamdulillah, we still breathe. Alhamdulillah, we still grieve. Alhamdulillah, we still have eyes to see things clearly for what they are, not what they appear to be. See, they got mind control on lock, but fear is the key. But knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what the poor and righteous teach. And freedom, justice, and equality is what the poor and righteous seek. And food, clothing, and shelter is what the poor and righteous need. And though love, peace, and happiness is what the poor and righteous breathe, the wicked feed on bodies like vultures in a battlefield. Nah, freedom ain't free. Peace. My name is Sun Truth.
Y'all keep it going for Sun Truth. And keep it going for yourselves, because we made it through all these amazing poets. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The talent level was absolutely insane tonight, bro. This was one of the best. I think this is our fourth one. I will say talent-wise and artistic-wise, this was one of the best ones we've ever had. Thank you to every poet who came in here, man. Y'all are off the chain, bro. Really good. Y'all keep writing, right? This art, this music, this form of expression is incredibly important, especially in today's time. Do not be silenced. Let yourself be heard, man, in all of the ways it is. Make sure you're authentic. Make sure yourself. I want to give a big shout out to my co-host, Samaya. Clap it up for Samaya. Holding it down up here. I got to give a shout out to Afro Blanco, the baddest DJ in the land. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things that GrowHouse has going on before I pass it off to the great Helen. So first and foremost, tomorrow, if you are in Tampa, there's the Downtown Tampa open mic. Now, the problem with this open mic is that it's not very attended. Part of that is because I do not promote it until the day before that it happens. So help me look better if you could come out tomorrow, downtown Tampa, or not downtown, it's like Tampa Heights area. So Waterworks, it's a bar, and across the street they'll be outside. So we're gonna have open mics. Kem DK is gonna be. Is that you, Kem? Kem's in the building. Kem is featuring. I'll be hosting. It's an open mic. It's outside. There's all kinds of amazing visual artists like in the area. It's a really good time. So look out for the GrowHouse page for that. The next open mic that we're having is Steeped Poetry. That's happened on third Mondays at Coffee Me. And this is the big thing. You can find all that information on our IG. Make sure you follow us on GrowHouse Tampa. And the big thing I want to talk about, especially after seeing the talent tonight, we are starting our Poetry Slam to make our team for next year. If you do not know what Poetry Slam is, it is competitive poetry. Blaze is a poet that you saw come up here earlier. Now, Blaze did not do a slam poem. They did a poem that they wanted to do, but it's competitive poetry. We take 5 of the best poets locally in Tampa. We go out and compete in the biggest national poetry competition in the country called Southern Fried. There's a couple poets in here I specifically would love to see compete next month. So it's going to be the 29th of August. The 29th of August. But I do want to talk about that. With that being said, Helen's looking at her watch. Y'all, thank you all so much. Clap it up for Helen Wallace!
I mean, why wouldn't you go to anything these guys are involved in, right? You need to go because there's so much fun, and you guys were amazing tonight. Dennis and Curtis, thank you very, very much. But also, all of you guys, you were just great. And so I hope you'll come back again. I asked Samaya Ayad because she is the one who helps me with the Dalí Poetry series. Couldn't do it without her. And so she tried to say no, but I wouldn't let her. I just asked her if she would just come up to close us off with, she has a very short form, so she's going to do that. Yo, clap it up for And then thank you to all of you. And we have a lot of people in the museum who've been working really hard, like all of the security and stuff. So unfortunately, we have to ask you to kind of scoot out fast so they can go home to their families. But you can hang out outside if you want to. But thanks again for coming.
You can pass your thanks to them, too, for letting us stay a few minutes late, being patient with us. So I'll do a little plug of my programs. As the education manager here, I do run our summer camps, which is called Junior Docent Art Camp, in which the kids choose one of our collection items upstairs and then give a tour about it at the end of the week. Katie is here. Katie is from NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. she comes and she presents to the students about what to do with those nerves that they get when they do have to do what you all are doing. And, they come out a lot better from it in just a week. So if you want to sign your kid up, we have summer camps, here at the Dalí Museum, or you can come watch the tours tomorrow at 3:30 here in the galleries, right? If you want to hear from some 9, 10, and 11-year-olds, hear their perspectives about Dalí, that is what my poem is about, is junior docent camp. So many tears in 1 week. At least, not all mine.
Y'all, thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night. GrowHouse!